and a nurse appeared, a pale woman in her late 20s. "How can I help you?" she asked. "I don't have an appointment, but I was hoping I could see the doctor," Shuta said. "You're a patient. I see. Please come in." The nurse spoke the Kansai dialect with the leisurely intonation unique to Kyoto. Her accent was quite pronounced for someone so young. There was a sofa at the back of the waiting room, but the nurse led Shuta right past it and directly into the examination room. It was smaller even than his company's smoking room and modestly furnished with a desk, a computer, and 2 chairs. Is this really the famous clinic? Shuta grew more anxious. Every psychiatrist's office he'd ever known had been spacious and well-appointed. Not only were those clinics not located in old, uninviting buildings, but they saw patients by appointment only. Patients were also required to complete a lengthy medical admission form that took nearly an hour to fill out. He appreciated being able to see the doctor so easily here, but come to think of it, he hadn't even given them his health insurance details. The curtain in the back flew open, and a youngish, slight man in a white lab coat appeared. "Hello there. This must be your first time at our clinic." He spoke with quite a high nasal voice and a comforting Kyoto cadence, which didn't come across as overly familiar. "How did you hear about us?" For a moment, Shuta was at a loss for an explanation. He considered lying, but decided to be honest. "I heard about you indirectly. A former colleague told me about his younger brother's wife's cousin's company's client's client who sees you and recommended this clinic. He had found himself here on the basis of some information that was less reliable than dregs from a rumor mill. All he'd been told was the clinic's name and that it was located on the 5th floor of a building with the cryptic address. This wasn't his first time at a psychiatric clinic. He had had several previous sessions 6 months ago. Even then, he didn't have high hopes of any improvement, but he felt he needed to make an effort to get better. He searched online for highly rated psychiatrists, seeing one after another until he'd been to every single psychiatrist near his home and office. That was how he had ended up here. It was a last resort. He just hadn't expected the clinic to be in such a desolate spot. "Well, we've got a little situation here. Truth is, I'm not accepting any new patients right now. I run a small practice. It's just the nurse and me." Shuta frowned. "I guess this place is also a non-starter. They call their practices Clinic for the Soul or whatever, but when it comes down to it, few doctors care enough to help you with your problems. Well, fine then." He was about to say this out loud when the doctor broke into a broad grin, and his eyes took on the gleam of a mischievous child. "I'll make an exception this time, since you're a referral." The space, already so narrow that their knees almost touched, grew even more intimate. The doctor turned to his desk. Shuta watched as the doctor's fingers flew across the keyboard as he typed into his computer. "Name and age?" All of a sudden, the session had started. "Shuta Kagawa, 25 years old. So, what brings you here today?" Shuta gave a little shiver. He'd seen this scenario play out before. Each doctor had given him the same answer. "That's tough. You don't have to work so hard." "It's good that you came to see me. Thank you." Then they would prescribe him similar medication. It wasn't the doctors, but the sleeping pills that had helped. Insomnia, tinnitus, loss of appetite." Whenever work crossed his mind, his chest constricted, his breathing turned shallow, and sleep eluded him. His symptoms were so common that the doctors never showed much interest. This time, he was determined to explain his condition properly and overcome it once and for all. But before he knew it, his true feelings slipped out.